since I'm currently covering the Aftertale storyline from Lover of Piggies, I thought to myself, why not make a short overview of her other character she created. This being Fresh Sænz, or just Fresh. Fresh was heavily inspired by the Gravity Falls character Dipper Fresh, which she watched on one of her live streams. She was so inspired by this Dipper version that she thought to herself, hey, why couldn't Sænz be just like this Dipper Sænz? And created Fresh Sænz. A Sænz who is hip and cool in the 90s and has such a presence that whenever he enters the room, everyone says, oh god, not him. But it has to be noted that Fresh Sænz is not actually a Sænz, but rather a parasite entity that takes control of a host, inhabiting one of the eye socket of a skeleton or a human. This inspiration came to Lover of Piggy after a comment of Fresh Sænz infecting everyone with his 90 lifestyle, which inspired them to include this to Fresh's character of being an actual parasite. Anyways, due to Fresh's parasitic nature and the fact that Fresh is a parasite, Fresh struggles to comprehend emotion beyond fear, as fear is his primary instinct of survival. However, at some point, Fresh would begin to develop emotion. Unfortunately, after lacking them for so long, they result in extreme anxiety, as it's not known how to process or handle them. But this never came to be, and instead we always got a depiction of Fresh who never got emotion besides fear. Anyways, the name Fresh specifically refers to the parasite residing in the host eye, since Fresh itself is not a true Sænz, as I mentioned before. Because he is not a true Sænz, he doesn't possess the ability commonly associated with Sænz. However, as a parasite, he does have the ability to inhibit other Sanses who lack a soul, such as ink Sænz or arrow Sænz, an ability that deeply unsettles arrow Sænz. Fresh also appeared in the Christmas Party AU comic, known for disregarding people's personal boundaries. Fresh frequently invades other people's personal space, touching people excessively and getting uncomfortably close to them, which of course annoys certain people, especially people like arrow Sænz, who has a fear of getting touched. Additional characteristics of Fresh: he has a tendency of disturbing arrow Sænz, has a passion for rap, and keeps a notebook to record individual he has kissed. He owns and treats a Furby as a pet, and whenever he changes his host, he also changes his gender identity to his current host body. And like I mentioned before, his host ability not only works on skeleton but also on humans. And the only time Fresh would leave his host body would be if the host body's soul would crack. You see, he doesn't have an actual soul, but whenever he takes on a host soul, this soul starts to crack, and when it fully breaks, Fresh abandons its current host and takes over a new one. And before you ask why Fresh is able to control people with souls, when I just before mentioned that he can only control people without any souls, like ink or error, I have no idea. Maybe it's a misconception on the wiki page or something that was forgotten by Lovers of Piggies. Anyways, these were some information about Fresh Sænz. Please check out Lovers of Piggies Tumblr page, and I will now be reading some Game of Thrones. Goodbye for now.